Hey, what's the deal, YouTube? It's your girl, Miss Honey. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back, you guys. We are here for Real Housewives of Atlanta. This is the second to last episode. Next week will be the season finale. I am told that we will be getting a Real Housewives of Atlanta reunion virtually. I think it's going to be exciting. I'm glad they're doing something. I think with Watch What Happens Live from Home, doing some test runs by airing that show with their guests virtually, kind of like in a StreamYard format, has shown to be very successful. So I think it could be done. Certainly, we're going to miss the body language of the ladies being on stage, but the girls have had plenty of practice with beefing virtually. Nene Leakes has kind of led the way. She has kept her name in the mouths of bloggers and vloggers and writers all over social media by getting into beefs with several different people. She is beefing more notably with Wendy Williams over one petty thing or another. It's all contrived. It's all orchestrated, you guys. This episode, which is season 12, episode 21, is called Moving On, Moving Upward, but it really should be called Contrived. Contrived storyline number 1122. I mean, it is, you can just kind of see the scenes being set up, and I wouldn't even really say that if these ladies weren't so bad at it. Like, they're terrible at it. You know, I think it's a little bit harder in some cultures for people to be fake. You know, you could just feel it. You can just feel it. It's just there, and we're gonna talk a little bit more about it. But like I said, the ladies have beef with one another. Eva's beef with Nene. Nene's beef with Wendy. She has an ongoing beef with Kenya. Kenya cannot keep Nene's name out of her mouth. Kandi has been thrown in the mix. You know, Kandi never passes up an opportunity to compete, and so she's been going back and forth with Nene, just keeping each other's names out there and just the buzz about the show going. Nene is probably more proficient at it, her and Kenya, than some of the others. But this is why they keep Nene on board, because through this whole coronavirus thing, Nene's name has been prominent and prevalent all over social media. In this episode, we do get to see, so I'm looking forward to the reunion. I said all that to say that. But this episode, we do get to see Nene and Gregg. They start out the episode. She's celebrating their 23 years together. I don't know if it can be a 23-year wedding anniversary. Not necessarily, because they got divorced and got remarried again. And they went through all that, the whole montage of Nene and her old nose and Gregg, and you know, just how far they've come with cancer and being remarried and all of these things. You know, she put rose petals down. It was just odd. It was odd because their relationship is kind of more buddy-ish in certain areas. I think he tries to keep it kind of romantic. And she does give us a great giddy schoolgirl feel, but at the same time, you know, when he swung his feet up on that bed and I saw how swollen his ankles were, and then we went into that montage about, they talked about an open marriage when he was sick. Now, mind you, y'all know Miss Honey does not like to continually say, I told you so. I try not to do that. But y'all remember now, put it down below if y'all remember. Miss Honey said that Nene was acting like she was a little sexually frustrated. Okay, so when all this other stuff came out about, you know, this other man and the woman at the store and who he was talking to, although it wasn't a sexual relationship, well, of course not. But I'm just being honest with you now. You know, he's a man of a certain age, and he's gone through all of these different things medically. I'm just saying, we need to all be honest with where he may or may not be in his sexual health. You know what I'm saying? Or stamina. The rigidness of things. How solid things can become or not. We have to be honest with ourselves, right? And I called it way back. I forget where they was, Tokyo or somewhere where Nene was always late. Japan somewhere, and she was just acting a plum fool. I said to myself, that is sexual frustration, because every time she saw a man, she got all, hot and bothered. That's the only time she would want to become involved in any scene, if it was a man involved. Now, fast forward, she's saying that they talked about open marriage. He said, no, he ain't want nothing to do with no open marriage. That's because you wanted to go out and get you some pain while he was sick, and you wanted him to co-sign on it, but he wasn't co-signing on that. This is what it means when they say y'all in this in sickness and health. Everything may not be fully functional. And I think Nene was looking for some maintenance, for some plumbing, her plumbing to be cleaned out. You know what I'm saying? Just to remove some of the debris. You know what I'm saying? Just keep things moving and flowing in the right direction here and there. You know what I'm saying? She really actually moving into her prime. They say women get more sexually vivacious as they in their 50s, and she in her early to mid 50s. So I really think that's what that's all about. It still was kind of cute. It was still kind of fun. I always love seeing Gregg. I'm just being honest, y'all, about what's going on with that. So that was Nene and Gregg. And then we talk about Eva in the house. Now, Eva done moved from the townhouse into her new home. Supposed to be her forever home. Okay, I get that. She got the kids everywhere. It seemed like they may be multiplying to me, but I think it's the same 3 kids over and over again. It's cute. It's cute. She's got a beautiful family. Beautiful family. From the husband, from the papa bear on down to the baby bear. Okay, and that little baby, that new baby that she done had, looked like that little baby will do your taxes. That baby looked like he will balance your checkbook. If he don't look like he will litigate... Okay, he look like he is straight litigious. He is not playing with y'all. He came out of that womb, baby, with a nose like a lawyer, an accountant, a banker. Okay, that little baby mean business. Okay, he already got his LLC set up. All right, I like seeing the kids. I wouldn't mind seeing Eva doing like y'all remember Rachel Zoe had a little show on Bravo. We kind of show her life. This was before she had the kids. This was a long time ago. Before she had that first baby, which was a struggle. But it was all about, her world as a fashion designer and a stylist and, balancing family life. I could see Eva doing something like that and it being interesting because Eva knows a whole host of characters. I think those characters, as well as Eva's personality and those beautiful children, that beautiful family, could carry a show. Maybe not for years and years and years, but if Kim Zolciak can do it, certainly Eva can do it. And y'all remember Eva from Top Model days, y'all know it can be done, okay? Because Eva brings drama. She brings a certain amount of electricity. However, with this storyline that she's talking about, that she's trying to pump up and give a little judge about her ex, Marley's birth father, wanting to come back and claim custody over Marley. It wants to be dramatic. It wants to be cliffhangerish. It wants to be this emotional moment, but she doesn't even blink. Like, she doesn't seem terribly concerned. Neither does Cynthia. You can't really depend on Cynthia. She's kind of airy-berry. Shout out to Morella. That's her word. I call it dodo bird. But my friend, Relly, she calls it airy-berry. Okay, so anyway... she wasn't helping to get the dramatics of it going. And so it fell flat. Like, we just moved on from that to talking about other stuff that was going on and situations and stuff that was going on in Kenya and how that's going and all. It was just weird. It was weird. It was another effort, a contrived effort to build this storyline. And I just think it fell flat. I think it fell flat. But we're going to talk about a couple of storylines that I feel fell flat. Let's go right into Porsha and Dennis. This was the first time I really side-eyed Dennis. Again, the cameras are there. They've got little PJ. He has come in, or you know, from Atlanta. She lives in Duluth, and he's like, it's this horrible long drive. He probably coming down 85. Maybe you should take Buford Highway or try Lawrenceville Highway. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to get on 85 every time you want to get from Atlanta to Duluth. It's possible. It's possible. You have to think about, people make that commute every day, coming and going. They make an hour and a half commute every day, coming and going. Like, it just doesn't hold weight to me. And we know a man will drive to another state every day. Every day. My dad used to work at a famous aeronautical company here in the city of Atlanta, and there's people that lived in Birmingham that drove in to work every day. It's people that live in Dahlonega. Like, what he's talking about doesn't make sense. If you live in Atlanta, you commute. You commute. That's like California. You know what I'm saying? You commute. It was just weird how, first of all, they showed him going and taking that swig before they started the conversation about him moving all of his stuff back. That swig of Hennessy. And I feel like they focused on it because it wasn't his first swig of the day. And he was at that kind of tipsy, meanish place, you know what I'm saying, where you just start, what they say, a drunk man speak a sober mind. He was like right there. He was right there. At the same time, it seemed contrived. It seemed like bull crap. It seemed like they had a conversation and they were in agreement. And as she was trying to lead the conversation to show us, you know, to display to us and have this seemingly real conversation, he just was like, I don't care what we rehearse. I'm not moving all my stuff out here, but you sit me back out. Why would she sit you back out? Why would she sit you back out unless you're doing something for her to sit you back out for, sir? He just cut the monkey. He cut the monkey. It was like somebody had a beautiful tea and crumpet and tea sandwiches set up all nice and lovely, and he came in and knocked everything off the table like a drunken bum and squeezed some boobs and patted some butt. It's like, oh, he was just so, he was bulling a china shop through the whole conversation. He was like, I don't want no wedding either. She was like, well, we talking about his wedding. I don't want no wedding. It's no point in that. I don't want to pay for somebody who, I was like, this sounds like some conversation you done had with yourself before, sir. No matter what y'all rehearsed, what his true feelings were, it seemed like to me it came out. And I feel like you've heard this before, Porsha. It just seemed like you heard it before, even though y'all rehearsed how the conversation was supposed to go. He went against that. He went rebel. He went rogue on you. And you're being flustered. Now, you did the right thing. Exit stage left. Don't let nobody embarrass you like that, girl. In the conversation, I agree with that. But at the same time, ma'am, the way you was acting, it was not a surprise to you. It was not a surprise to you. The surprise was that it was done on camera. And you try to mediate it as much as you can. But I believe he said what he really meant. And I believe he said that stuff to you before. And y'all tell me what you think, honeybees. Put that down below. Put that down below. Put that down below. This is my first time really looking at Dennis as Dennis the Dick. You don't want to be with somebody, you let them know. You don't want to do this thing, let them know. Flat out. Don't wait till you drunk and belligerent and all of that. And maybe Porsha and the family and all of that stuff has made you feel pressure. But at the same time, you're a whole businessman out here. Make a decision. Anyway, let's talk about Kandi and Todd. I don't know. You know, Kandi and Todd gonna meet with the counselor. He's a beautiful man. Beautiful man. I kept trying to look at that ring and count them fingers. It was moving too fast or something. Was it on the pinky? Was it on the ring finger? Was the man married? What's going on with the counselor? I'd like to know a little bit more about that. You know what I'm saying? You know, when you see a eligible black male, you just it's a unicorn. What's going on? You got to do some investigations, okay? We got to find out what's going on with this whole counsel situation. Still a beautiful black man. They called him in, and I noticed how they were sitting there, you know, all kind of awkward and stuff with the camera there. And she was like, "Oh, he should be here any moment." Or, "Oh, I don't know. I just feel like, Okay, so prior to this, she had gone to see Kenya and talk to Kenya about the fact that, you know, this whole thing where he was feeling a type of way about the sex scene. We got a lot more conversation about you not coming home and being with the family when you off work at the Shy. Than we did about you being naked in the bed with another individual. Now, maybe that conversation is somewhere else, but like I said, Kandi and Todd relationship kind of seemed kind of patchwork. To me, they always kind of seem like they're on. I know I said last week, what is it about it? It's awkward, their relationship. To me, they always seem like they are on, like they are performing for the camera in one way or another. And this is one of the ways that Todd and Kandi, to me, show themselves as a dynamic duo. Because he's got a lot of production background. He understands a lot about the movements of what's going on. She's got a great business head as well. What they do seem kinds of it does seem contrived, but at the same time, they work in tandem. It wasn't none of that going rogue stuff like it was at Porsha and Dennis's place. No, they both did a little give and take with the counselor. They both played along with the scenario. Todd was playing the heavy role. When the man came in, Todd stood up and took his jacket off. You know, he didn't want to seem small next to the man. He was a tall chocolate drink, a latte. He was. But you know, Todd took his jacket off and wanted his tat showing and his muscles and things of that nature. Because when you little like that, you got to make yourself big. You know what I mean? But like I said, he did a good job playing it heavy. And Kandi, you know, was looking up at the sky and her voice was breaking up. And I'm a very emotional person, really. Really, the tears and the broken voice lets people know that. So you don't have to announce it, but she had to prep herself for the next bit of dialogue in this scene where she wanted to say she does do these things, but Todd works just as much as she does and all of this stuff. And it just came full circle and it was just resolved. Like it was like a quick little short about couples counseling. You know, it's like a quick little commercial about couples counseling and how it can help you. You know what I'm saying? Like a quick little infomercial type situation. That's just how I feel about the situation. I just feel like they're constantly performing. They're constantly on. I don't think any of us really know what's going on in Kandi's life for real. I think a lot of it is a part of the act. It's my opinion. Just my opinion. Okay, lastly, let's just talk about Kenya in this closet. First of all, Cynthia does not have anything to say. She does not have a viable storyline. All of her family, except for Mal, who's running loosely, I put it loosely, running the Bailey wine cellar. You know, I guess the Bailey agency is over. It must be just all online now or something, but Mel had on Cynthia's hair from last week. Now, you know, she copied Cynthia a lot. I don't know if she copied or she just get the leftover hair, the bundles or what. But she had that different color Anglo-Saxon weave in her hair, that curly, like, you know, the bird's nest kind. She had that in her hair. And I just was like, Mel, I don't think so. To me, Mel always kind of look hard. But, you know, that's just me. She just got a strong jawline and face and the way she pierced her lip. And she just always kind of, you know, anyway. Cynthia basically storyline is where to live. California, because they get married 10-20-20. Y'all know with everything going on. That is tentative. But she don't know whether she want to live here, California. Everybody want her to live here, of course. She don't want to give up Lake Bailey. Well, you know, don't give up Lake Bailey. People have homes in different parts of the country all the time. If you're filming here, you should have a place to live here. When you're not filming, go to California. Like, it's not rocket science. It's definitely not a storyline. Let's all move forward with that. Well, she go over to see Kenya. And Kenya's upstairs and I'm gonna let you in automatically. Just come on upstairs to the 3rd floor closet, please. Thank you. And so Cynthia come on up there and she's in the closet and she halfway to teary-eyed because she is, you know, trying to take Mark's clothes down and get them packed up and sent to him. And Cynthia said the same thing I was thinking. Like, why are you doing this right now? Like, y'all don't even know what's going on. You hoping things get pulled back together. You don't know how he moving, but you in there why are you in here packing his clothes up? Like, why is you doing that? If y'all don't get together, his clothes, you got time to pack his clothes up at that point. Like, why are you, because it's contrived. It's contrived. At the end of all of it, she had like she's taking them down one by one and folding them up. At the end of all of the conversation, which was the same stuff from last week, he don't let her have any contact with his family at all. Brooklyn's grandparents at all. He's very controlling and all of this stuff. And she's going through like, when I smell his clothes, I walk by this closet and see it, I just get emotional. Whatever, Kenya, whatever. You don't even know this man. He don't even know you. The contract is over. Okay, this is business. Y'all had this contract. The contract is over. He's reneging. I don't know what the situation is, but come on. Quit trying to take us down this emotional roller coaster. Again, everybody's trying to solidify their place for next year. It just depends on who does it the best, in my opinion. Cynthia was like, I can't believe this. Oh, we gonna shorten his sleeves. We gonna make muscle shirts out of his clothes. And she's like, no, don't do that. Of course not. Of course not. Don't do that, because this ain't that kind of party. This is not that kind of party. I wouldn't even be surprised if half those things weren't even his. I would not be surprised if the girl did not go and get a bunch of clothes, men's clothes, or put all the clothes on one side to make it look like it was all just his closet. I don't get it. At the end of the whole conversation, then we see where she got moving people. So why are you even in the closet? If you got people to come in there and pack all this stuff up, why is you in there acting like you the one and only, packing all this stuff and loading it up and taking it down to the garage and sitting it in the garage for when he want it and can come and get it? You're trying to create a moment. And it fell flat, in my opinion. There are a lot of loopholes here. You guys are still keeping a lot of stuff. And that's fine if that's what you wanted to do from Giddy Up and follow through on that concept from Giddy Up. But now that you done gave us a little peek of what's inside Pandora's box, we trying to kick the door down. We trying to see what's really up, like what's really tea. Like, I would not mind hearing a one-on-one interview with Mark Daly. I just wouldn't mind hearing it. I would not mind hearing it all. And I hope that it comes across on camera during the reunion. You know, it just infuriates me. It infuriates me because if the tables were turned and this was somebody else, Kim Fields' storyline, instead of Kenya Moore's storyline, Kenya Moore would have blown Kim Fields' storyline. If this was it, same as hers is, she would blow it up 7 ways to Sunday, point blank, period. You are not folding this man's clothes up. You are not in this emotional moment where you packing this man's closet up. You're having a scene. Let's get out of this closet because the movers are coming. So why is you even in this closet? Why you need movers for that? Just tell me you got a lady that's going to come and take all this stuff down and put it in a box. It just gets on my nerves. Out of all of the contrived storylines, I would have to say Kandi and Todd's was sold the best. It was presented in the best format. Again, I think they've got a lot of practice, always being on and acting, so it didn't come across as fake to us because they've had practice rehearsing it. Porsha, honey, I hope that you're being wise. I really do. I hope you're being wise. I hope you're being smart. I know you got a baby with this man. You want to make it work. You want it to be a family. You want to kind of tie a whole bow around it, a ribbon around it. But you got this one problem, and that is Dennis. Dennis is continually throwing monkey wrenches into this plan, which leads me to believe that it is your plan and not y'all's plan. Okay? All right? All right. Like I said, Nene is solidifying herself, baby, for next season because she is keeping y'all talking about her left and right on social media. There's been scuttlebutt about Phaedra coming back, which I am not opposed to. There's been scuttlebutt about Sheree coming back, which I am opposed to. I'm still side-eyeing Sheree with this whole my mama was missing for 2 weeks and I'm just now saying something situation. And then the mama show up. Just a little bit later after we all discover that she's been missing, like not 2 days later, we find her. I'm side-eyeing it. Something's going on. Whether it is something medically that they don't want to discuss. That is very, very common in the African American community, especially when it comes to cognitive issues. Our parents have a lot of pride. It's not something they necessarily want to be broadcasted. It could be that. At the same time, I think the way she handled it was bad business. And it's just another reason why we just don't need Sheree back on this show. She's just real raggedy about the way she does things. I'm good on that. I would love to see them little boys back of Phaedra's. I would love to see this whole Apollo thing. I do think that Todd is pushing for it. He may be pushing for it in silence, behind Kandi's back. Or they may be working together on it. Like I said, these two are a well-oiled machine when it comes to publicity. Okay, and getting themselves out there. Yeah, so that's what I think, you guys. Y'all tell me what you think of this episode. I'd love to hear about it. Put it down below. Did y'all feel like it was just like these really, really kind of push, contrived, kind of patchwork, popsicle stick, you know what I'm saying, craft project storylines? Like, what y'all think? Put it down below. And until next time, honeybees, mwah, mwah, mwah.